Imagine a crisp November day in 1970 in Norway, the air carrying the scent of pine and the promise of winter. In the rugged mountainous region near Bergen, a father and his two young daughters were hiking through Isdalen Valley, a place also known ominously as Death Valley due to its history of suicides and accidents. What began as a leisurely walk soon turned into a chilling discovery that would baffle investigators and capture the imagination of the world for decades. Just off the beaten path, partially concealed by the rocky terrain, they came across a disturbing sight: the severely burned body of a woman. The front of her body, including her face and most of her hair, was so badly charred that identification seemed impossible. The focused nature of the burning, primarily on the front of her body, suggested a deliberate act aimed at obscuring her features. Adding to the mystery, no clear signs of a fire or campfire were evident at the scene. Yet scattered around the body were traces of burned paper, and a fur hat found beneath her bore the scent of petrol. This detail hinted at the use of an accelerant to ignite the flames, further suggesting a deliberate act rather than an accident. An autopsy would later reveal soot in her lungs, a grim confirmation that she was alive while the fire consumed her. The position in which she was found also offered unsettling clues. Her body lay on its back, her hands clenched and raised towards her torso. Some accounts described her right arm resting across her chest, while her left arm was slightly raised, bent at the elbow. This posture, particularly the outstretched arm, has been interpreted by some as a final desperate attempt to call for help, or as a reflexive action of self-defense. The immediate surroundings of the body yielded a collection of peculiar items. Among them were an empty bottle of St. Halvard liqueur, two plastic water bottles, one reportedly half full, a plastic passport holder devoid of any identification, a pair of rubber boots, a woolen jumper, a scarf, and nylon stockings. An umbrella, broken in some way, lay nearby, along with an empty purse, a matchbox, a watch, 2 earrings, and a ring. Adding another layer to the puzzle, 12 sleeping pills of the brand Phenomol were discovered close to her body. What made this collection of items truly baffling was the deliberate removal of any identifying marks or labels. This meticulous erasure of potential clues strongly suggested a conscious effort to conceal the woman's identity and origins. The arrangement of these objects around the body struck one of the forensic investigators as strange and even ritualistic, hinting at a staged scene or a motive beyond simple disposal. 3 days after the grim discovery, a significant break in the investigation came with the discovery of 2 unclaimed suitcases at the Bergen railway station. A fingerprint found on a pair of non-prescription glasses within one of the suitcases provided the crucial link, confirming they belonged to the Isdal Woman. The contents of these suitcases offered a glimpse into the life of this mysterious woman, revealing a pattern of travel and disguise. Inside, investigators found clothing with the labels meticulously cut off, an assortment of wigs, cosmetics and makeup, and even eczema cream. The presence of German and Norwegian currency, along with Belgian, British, and Swiss coins, and the discovery of 5 100 Deutschmark notes concealed in the lining of one suitcase, further indicated extensive travel across Europe. Another account mentioned even larger sums of German and Norwegian money hidden within the luggage. Maps and timetables were also found, alongside the non-prescription glasses and sunglasses. Perhaps the most intriguing find was a notepad filled with rows of handwritten letters and numbers, a coded message that initially defied interpretation. Eventually, investigators managed to decipher the code, revealing a detailed record of the dates and places she had visited. This decryption unveiled a pattern of travel across Norway, including stops in Oslo, Trondheim, and Stavanger, as well as journeys to other parts of Europe, such as Paris. The suitcases also contained a plastic bag from a footwear store in Stavanger, and one account mentioned the discovery of 8 passports, all bearing different fake aliases, while others referred to multiple false identities. Interestingly, while no passports were found on the body, a nearly destroyed plastic cover, possibly for a passport, was located near her. Other items found in the suitcases included a postcard from an Italian photographer and a sewing kit from a Geneva hotel. The sheer variety of items, the multiple currencies, and the fake travel documents painted a vivid picture of a woman who lived a life shrouded in secrecy and deception. Hotel staff who had encountered the woman remembered her as someone who was fashionable, quiet, and serious. They described her as being good-looking, approximately 1.63 meters tall, around 5 feet 4 inches, with dark brown hair and small brown eyes. Other descriptions mentioned her having long, brownish-black hair often tied in a ponytail and possessing delicate, round facial features. One particularly memorable detail was a noticeable gap between her upper front teeth when she smiled. Witnesses recalled that she spoke English with an accent, often using German and Flemish phrases. One account even suggested she was a polyglot fluent in Flemish, German, and English, while another informant claimed she had a Balkan accent and had a habit of dressing in a way that made her appear younger than her estimated age of around 26. Her first known appearance in Norway was on February 1, 1970, when she arrived from Geneva. The last confirmed sighting of her alive was on November 23, 1970, when she checked out of room 407 at the Hotel Hordeheimen in Bergen and took a taxi. Staff at the hotel noted that she mostly stayed in her room and seemed to be constantly on guard. She paid her bill in cash, further adding to the air of mystery surrounding her. One waitress recounted seeing her dining in the hotel restaurant next to 2 German Navy personnel, one of whom was an officer. Another eyewitness reported seeing a woman matching her description on November 24th, the day after she checked out of the hotel, in the company of 2 men dressed in black suits. The witness described her as looking frightened, and when she appeared to open her mouth, perhaps to speak or call for help, she quickly closed it. This unsettling encounter raises serious questions about her safety in the days leading up to her death. The medical examiner's findings presented a complex picture, initially leading authorities to a conclusion that many still find difficult to accept. The autopsy determined that the Isdal woman's death was caused by a combination of sleeping pills, phenobarbital, and carbon monoxide poisoning. Her stomach contained traces of over 40 phenymal sleeping pills, and an additional 12 were found near her body. Notably, the pills in her stomach had not fully dissolved before her death. While the official ruling at the time leaned towards suicide, several other findings cast a dark shadow of doubt on this conclusion. Soot was discovered in her lungs, unequivocally indicating that she was alive while she was being burned. Furthermore, a bruise was observed on her neck, suggesting a possible fall or blow. One particularly disturbing detail was the condition of her fingers, which were completely burned, as if she had desperately tried to shield herself from the flames. These pieces of evidence strongly suggest a violent end, contradicting the notion of a self-inflicted death. Adding another layer to her unique profile was her distinctive dental work. She had 14 fillings and several gold crowns, a significant amount of dental work that was considered unusual for someone of her estimated age and not typical for people in Norway at that time. There was also a noticeable gap between her 2 upper front teeth. Due to the uniqueness of her dental features, her teeth and jaw were removed during the autopsy for more detailed analysis. The year 1970 was firmly entrenched in the Cold War, a period defined by global political tension, espionage, and clandestine operations. Europe was a hotbed of secrets and deception, with spies from various nations constantly moving between allied and enemy territories. Norway, sharing a border with the Soviet Union and being a member of NATO, held significant strategic importance, making it a prime location for intelligence activities. Given this backdrop, it didn't take long for theories of international espionage to surrounding the Isdal woman's case. The discovery of fake passports, the coded notes detailing her travels, and the deliberate removal of labels from her belongings all pointed towards someone deeply involved in covert operations, far removed from the life of an ordinary citizen. Some investigators initially suspected she might have been a spy working for an Eastern Bloc country. Another prominent theory suggested she was an operative for the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad, which was known to be active in Norway during the 1970s. However, this theory became less likely after DNA analysis indicated her likely European descent. Other possibilities explored included her working for a radical left-wing group. Intriguingly, declassified records from the Norwegian armed forces later revealed a potential link between the Isdal Woman's movements and top-secret trials of the Penguin missile, a significant piece of military technology at the time. Her presence in Stavanger, the center of Norway's offshore oil drilling industry, and in Bergen, home to the country's largest naval base and the site of NATO military exercises, further fueled suspicions of espionage. While espionage remains the most widely discussed theory, other possibilities have been considered over the years. Some speculated about her involvement in international drug or diamond trafficking, while others believed she might have been murdered to prevent her from revealing sensitive information. The unusual arrangement of items around her body even led to theories involving occult rituals. More recently, author Dennis Zacher Askey proposed a theory that the Isdal Woman was a sex worker, based on her travel patterns and behavior in hotels. Despite the initial police investigation and the various theories that have emerged over the decades, the identity of the Isdal Woman and the exact circumstances of her death remain shrouded in mystery. However, the case has seen renewed interest in recent years, spurred by advancements in forensic technology. In 2016, the investigation was officially reopened. Isotope analysis conducted on her teeth provided crucial insights into her origins. The analysis suggested she was likely born around 1930 in the vicinity of Nuremberg, Germany, and that she moved to France or the border region between France and Germany during her childhood. Further analysis of her teeth also indicated that she had received dental work in either East Asia, Central Europe, Southern Europe, or South America. Based on these findings, her age at the time of death was estimated to be closer to 40 than 30. Additionally, her mitochondrial DNA (tDNA) haplogroup was identified as H24, a lineage originating in Southeast Europe or Southwest Asia. In a more recent development, in June 2023, an article in the Neue Zürcher Zeitung (NZZ) proposed a potential connection between the Isdal Woman and a Swiss banker named François Janud. Janud had known ties to Nazi collaborators and post-war intelligence networks, and the article suggested that the Isdal Woman might have been a Palestinian spy financed by him. The theory further speculated that her presence in Norway was linked to the country's alleged secret supply of heavy water to Israel. However, this theory has been met with skepticism due to a lack of concrete evidence directly linking the two individuals. Despite the lack of a definitive identification, the Isdal Woman's DNA profile remains on file, with the hope that it might one day match against global DNA databases. Her remains are interred in an unmarked zinc coffin in a cemetery in Bergen, a measure taken to preserve them in case future breakthroughs in technology or new information might finally reveal her true identity. The mystery of the Isdal Woman continues to haunt Norway and fascinate true crime enthusiasts worldwide, a chilling reminder of the secrets that can remain buried, even in the face of extensive investigation and the relentless march of time.